guys. And I'm genuinely not being sarcastic when I say this. This is probably the best patch we have ever gotten in My Hero Ultra Rumble out of the entirety of its lifespan. There have been some very good patches in the past, but as you've known recently, most of the patches have been pretty meh. I was chilling, doing whatever, and I took a nap, woke up, and saw that a certain character got nerfed, and I did not look at the entirety of the patch notes, but I did look at most of them, and they cooked. I don't know what is going on, where they all of a sudden are just like doing really good patch notes. So let me obviously get out, but let me say this off the bat. I'm sure in game it all depends on like the numbers and everything, and just how people adapt to it and everything, but just reading the patch notes, they're very good. So we are going to go over them right now. My Hero Ultra Rumble, about the adjustments made in the March 5th, 2025 maintenance. After the maintenance update on March 5th, 2025, made the following changes. Character adjustments. Oh boy, you see that, don't you? You see that? Who's that little guy? Is that Full Bullet Deku in my patch notes? Oh, okay. I'm trying not to spoil everything. Izuku Midoriya Full Bullet. HP value changed to 300. Quirk skill Alpha Delaware Smash Full Bullet. Decreased damage dealt at all levels. This is what we like to see right here. This does things. This makes me feel nice inside. Now, again, obviously, his beta and gamma are still pretty strong, and I'm sure his alpha. I forget how much the damage. Like I saw specific numbers. It's just sometimes it's really hard to tell exactly how it's going to put into effect, especially with this kind of character where he has multiple bullets in his alpha. But regardless, he's going to be doing less damage, and he has 50 less HP. Even if this is only by like 10 or 20, this is still really good. And this is also going to mean that his early game is going to suck really bad. Like his early game is going to be awful, which I'm good. He needs to have a weakness. We'll see how he plays in game. I do think he probably still needs more nerfs. But these two right here are probably the most important things that needed nerfed on him, and they did it. Good job. Alright, Shoto Todoroki. Changed HP value to 350. So this is Strike Shoto. I don't know. I think this is okay. He was one of the weaker Strike characters, but I mean, we'll see. Did he need 350? Probably not, but again, my rule of thumb is I don't think any Strike characters should be above 300. I think every Strike character should be 300 across the board, and that's it. And they should adjust the characters according to that. So him being 350, I mean, it's... Again, he's one of the weaker ones, so we'll see exactly how it plays out in game. But not like a terrible change, I'd say. Is that Shoto Todoroki Ice Fang Wind Flame? I haven't really been talking about it. I hate this character. Ever since his buffs, I hate him. He's annoying. Decreased damage dealt at all levels and decreased number of rounds at level 9 for the alpha. Good. I also saw that they, I think, nerfed the damage on his alpha quite a bit. Good. I do think that is good. I do think they probably should also remove one of his betas. And then I think, like, keep everything else the same. Maybe at that point, if he's too weak, then give him 350, just like the Shoto. But the way he is right now was before, like, no, 350 HP, no. No. Still, though, very, very good changes. His alpha hit way too hard, and I feel like he got way too many of them. He's still gonna be annoying because he can spam his betas and whatnot, but this is a very good change. You know, again, good change. Kirishima. This is the normal Kirishima, the assault one. Quirk skill alpha. Increased number of rounds for levels 4 through 8. Decreased reload speed for levels 4 through 8. Increased reload speed after expending all shots at level 9. I think that's fine. Yellow Kirishima can always use some buffs. He's he needs it, so I will gladly take that. I think they just gave him one extra alpha at level 4, so he gets the 3 alphas at level 4. So I think that's, again, good. He can always use more buffs. Perfectly fine with that. Kendo. Her alpha and gamma got a damage increase at all levels. I think that's fine. I was using her earlier today, and she did feel kind of weak. I'm not really a Kendo player, so I'm not a good representation of using her, but I do know that she was pretty weak. I think they nerfed her maybe a bit too much, so they did buff her. We'll see if this is in a good sweet spot for her. Again, the way she was before she got nerfed, I think she was too much, doing way too much damage. Now we'll see how this affects her, but I do think she needed something, so we'll see. Shoto Aizawa. Quirk skill alpha, binding cloth capture, increased number of rounds at all levels, and then special action eraser, increased reload speed. I think that's fine. I do think Aizawa can be a very, very dumb character depending on who's using him. But in most cases when I'm fighting an Aizawa, I'm not really that scared of him, I'm gonna be real. So I think these two were good buffs. I don't think he needed damage buffs. I just think like this was a good route to go with him. Making a special action more, you know, usable, because that's like his main thing, and then increasing the number of rounds of his alpha, so he can have 6 now at max, which is, I think, very good. Will it be broken? Again, we'll see. Again, it's way too early to tell, but I think he needed something, and I think this is fine. I'm just glad they didn't up buff his damage or something, because his alpha already does a crap ton of damage. Endeavor, special action flight, increased reload speed. This is good, but I do think Endeavor needs give him at least 1 more charge on his alpha. Like at level 4, he gets 5 charges, and then just keep it that way. The amount of charges he has right now is just not enough, I'd say. If you tune him out like crazy, then yeah, his 4 is fine because he's doing so much damage, but most people aren't going to have him tuned out like crazy, so I think, you know, let's give him an extra alpha, and then we'll kind of go from there. Mirio. Quirk skill, Gamma Phantom Guard, increased barrier duration, fine. I don't know if that was really something he needed, but fair enough, a buff for him. Oh, is that Hawks? Listen, I know they've nerfed Hawks quite a bit. I still think he's annoying as hell and one of the better characters in the game just because of the way he works. And they did quite a few changes to this boy. So decreased damage dealt at all levels to his alpha, which I did see was a pretty significant drop. Which is what I said. I said he has 50 freaking alpha bullets. He either needs to lose a lot of his ammo or they need to be hitting lightly. They hit lightly now. That's exactly what I wanted. Beta, decreased flight duration in free flight state after the charge hit. I think that's again fine. He already has incredible movement anyway, so I think limiting that to some extent is fine. And in his gamma, decreased damage at all levels too. I also thought his gamma was hitting too hard, especially because there's a bug going on to where you can shoot like 50 of them. So, yeah. And then special action, decreased flying duration. Yeah, I think people might disagree, the avid Hawks players, but guess what? Your character is stupid, and he needed these changes. I think, no, we'll wait and see how he is in game, like for all these characters and all these changes. But I think at this point, I don't think they need to touch him anymore. I think he should be fine after this. But again, let's wait and see, you know, how he plays in game. Maybe this is still not enough, but I have a feeling this will be enough to bring him down to like a nice neutral level to where like he's good and he has strengths, but he's not broken. I think this will probably put him in a good spot. Nejire, another character that needed nerfed. Quirk skill beta, spiraling surge, decreased damage dealt per hit at all levels. Good. Adjusted so that the opponent's hits are less likely to be launched far away at all levels. Opponent's hit are less likely to be launched far away at all levels. Interesting. Decrease the surge time duration at all levels. So I think what this means, so this one hopefully that doesn't mean hard knockdown, because I do think getting hard knocked down by her after 3 hits is fine. That's how it should be. I guess it's just like they don't get shot as far away from it, is what I'm hoping this means. Decreased damage dealt at all levels, good. And decrease the surge time duration. I think that means she can't use it as long, which is also good. I think, again, her beta was too strong. You basically just sit there, you hold the beta till it hits them 3 times, then you stop doing it, wait for them to get up, do it again, and then they just die. Like, it's stupid, annoying. So the fact that she can do it less and it's doing less damage, good. Special action surge, increased gauge consumption when using a dash while in midair. So this, I think, is also a good thing. I think she was a character that could stay in the air. Like, Hawks, when he was in his prime, he basically just lived in the air most of the time. Nejire was that on crack. It's just she had less movement than Hawks did. So I do think this is a good change for her. All these I think are good changes. Again, she needed nerfed, he needed nerfed. A lot of these characters that are getting nerfs needed it, so I'm very happy to see. Tomara Shigaraki changed HP value to 350, so this is Strike Shiggy. Again, I still think probably all strike characters should just have 300, and they should, again, their kit should be built knowing that they have 300 HP. In Shiggy's defense, though, I feel like he is the weakest strike character and one of the weaker characters in the game in general. So I think, and due to the way he plays, I do think 350 is fine for him. We'll see. I would just rather, again, they make every character that's strike 300, no higher, no lower. And then, like, we build the kit around that. So we, I don't know, give him, like, extra defense on his gamma or something, or I don't know. But we'll see. This isn't a terrible change. I think, again, if anyone in the strike category needed it, it was him. Oh, Dobby, Crazy Torch. You see what I mean, dude? This is a banger. Pardon my French, this is a fucking banger patch. Tomura Shigaraki and his quirk set Catastrophe. Special action, collapse hand, increase damage dealt, increase number of rounds, decrease reload speed after using up all shots. So now Shiggy has 2 special actions and they do 80 damage now per hit. Again, I think that's fine. I do think people would utilize them in the combos, but you know, it's somewhat fairly easy to dodge and hard to land because you have to get right up in someone's face to do it. So I think giving him 2 of them and then also increasing the damage they do is fine, on top of the fact that it lowers defense. I think this is a fine change. I don't really have a problem with it. If this was like OG Catastrophe Shiggy, no way. But with how the game has been recently, I don't think this is gonna really make him like, oh my god, he's so OP now. But we'll see. I mean, with all the nerfs here, the meta is gonna change up a lot. So, because people can't balance on their OP characters anymore, what are they gonna do? Actually get skill and play unique characters? Doubt it. Alright, Dobby Crazy Torch. Quirk skill beta. Decreased damage dealt when letting go of opponents for levels 4 through 9. Quirk skill Gamma Crazy Torch. Decreased damage dealt from the small explosion that occurs when a character receives over a certain amount of damage. Good changes. I do think he could use a little more nerfing. It's weird that they say decreased damage when letting go of opponents rather than like when he's hugging them. That's a weird way to word it. I don't know. We'll see how this works in game, just like all the other nerfs and buffs here. But he needed nerfed, so I'm glad to see him getting nerfs. He might still need a little more. I think the main thing is just make his Gamma do way more damage to him, so it's actually like a risk to use, because right now he just has it active whenever. I think that's the main thing with him, and then it'll be like, oh well, he's doing crazy damage. Well, he's also like killing himself, you know, really badly. So I think that would make it a lot more fair. Himiko Toga. So this is normal Toga. So her Gamma decreased damage dealt for levels 4 through 9. Increased the number of rounds at all levels. I think that is actually really good for her. Again, people might not like it or agree with it. With this Toga, the issue with her is, again, her Gamma tracking is awful. Half of the time it will just go into the ground. So I'm glad so I think this is a small way to kind of help with that, to where she gets multiple chances to do it. So yeah, I think this is fine. Decreased damage dealt, I think that's also fine to compensate for the fact that she gets 2 of them now. Yeah, I think that's fine. Oh, Toga's quirk said, oh, sheesh. Her alpha decreased damage dealt at all levels, adjusted so opponents that take a hit fly farther away at all levels. Good. I think that's her alpha could shred people to pieces, so I think that is perfectly fine. And then Gamma decreased damage dealt to opponents when slashing at all levels. I think that is also a good change. I do think Toga's special actions still need to rework, to where she can like transform and then de-transform, and then she has her cooldowns back. But regardless, this is a very good change. She was a damage fiend, on top of the fact that she could reset her cooldowns instantly. So I think lowering her damage on these 2 was good. She definitely needs more. A good step in the right direction. Finally, this is a long patch note. I'm not used to this. Usually they're like 1 line. Mr. Compress Beta. Decreased consumption and number of rounds on deflecting shots at all levels. Increased reload speed at all levels. I think that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. Quirk skill Gamma Magician's Choice. Increase the reload speed for levels 1 to 8. Increase reload speed after using the skill once at level 9. Again, I think that's also fine. Compress is one of those characters to where he can be extremely good and annoying. But it's you need like to get his alpha high levels, and you need to get like the 2 gammas, so even with these changes, again, I still think he's going to be probably close to the same, but he definitely needed some buffs. I just, yeah, he's not a OP top tier character, so he definitely needs something. And that's it. We hope you continue enjoying My Hero Ultra Rumble. I can't believe they did all this in one patch. This is just a random patch. This is a random last patch of the season. They just threw this in here. This is better than the patch. This is better than every patch we've gotten in the past like 5 seasons. Like, I'm not even kidding. Again, the biggest one, this guy finally getting nerfed, finally. Even if his alpha is still stupid, even if his beta is still stupid and his gamma, this shows that they are willing to nerf him now. For the longest time, they buffed him and then they did not touch him. They buffed him and he's been the same for like 4 seasons, 5 seasons. They refused to touch him. Now that they did, he's free on the table to get nerfed and changed whenever. So, awesome. And these changes alone are very, very good. I do think he probably is still going to need more with how strong of a character he is. But these are very good nerfs. Purple Shoto getting nerfed. I do think he probably still needs, out of every OP character on this list that got nerfed, I think he's probably the one who's going to need... Well, I say that, but Toga's here. I think out of all the OP characters, like, they all still need probably a bit more nerfing, but they got hugely, like, shot down with all these changes to them. So, like, yeah, I reduce his beta by 1, and then, like, I think that would be fine, and then leave him as is. Yeah. So I'd say the biggest nerfs, probably Hawks, honestly. I think Hawks received the biggest nerfs in this update. Obviously this is the most important. This is the one that everyone is going to go crazy for, and a lot of people also with this one, and a decent amount of people with this one, a lot of people with this one, and this one. So, like, a lot of good changes. Who got the best buffs? Probably either Kendo or Aizawa. I'm fine with this. I want to see more variety in the meta. I'm sick of seeing the same 5 characters. With all these huge nerfs and some of the buffs, hopefully this will incentivize people to play different characters, and hopefully this will take the king down out of his throne, because he's been up there way too long. And, you know, he's not going down alone. He's taken Purple Shoto with him, he's taken Hawks, he's taken Nejire, he's taken Crazy Torch Dabi, he's taken Toga. And again, I do want to emphasize this. There is still a lot that needs to be done about the game, and a lot of changes that need to be made. And I doubt, like, you're never going to see these characters ever again. I'm sure, like, people will still use these characters. They're still going to be annoying to fight. They're just a lot more tolerable now, and a lot fairer than they used to be by a decent margin. What am I doing? So, yeah. Good job, Biking. This was a good patch. Keep this up, please. This is even if people are like, well, still, Strength Deku still does a lot of damage. Like, this is still a good patch. They nerfed a lot of things that needed nerfed. They changed a lot of things that needed changed. Let's keep this ball rolling. Let's keep going with this. Do not stop. You know, let's start now, you know, that we did this, let's start working on that, like, you know, tuning the tuning system to make it less overpowered. You know, let's work on like crossplay, let's work on like fixing all these bugs and whatnot. This is a very, very big, good step in the right direction, genuinely. I'm always negative about this game, you know, I complain about it all the time. I'm always like, oh, this sucks, this is bad. As much as I complain is as much as I want to praise. This is a very good patch. Let the developers know. Yes, there is still some things that need changed, and there's still some things that could be better. But let's make sure the devs know that they did a good job, so they continue going like this. All right, you hear me, community? Let them know this is what we want. This is what we've been waiting for, and that we want to see more. I can't believe I still can't believe this. Seeing this dude in a patch note thing, and it's not a buff. I really hope I am not dreaming, because if I wake up and I find out I'm dreaming, I'm gonna be pissed. But anywho, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the March 5th, 2025 patch notes for My Hero Ultra Rumble. Again, my opinion, they killed it. Straight fire. Best patch notes we've had in like forever. I'm looking forward to the future. This gives me hope. This gives me a lot of hope. Don't blow it. Biking, don't blow it. You got me back in your corner. Let's keep it that way. Alright, make sure like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of any future uploads, and yeah. Happy rumbling, guys. Bye, guys.